Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Jason Gorenstein, and today we are beginning our Vinyasa Flow All Levels practice. So I hope that you're having a very nice day today. Welcome, Monica. So nice to see you here. Anybody else who's joining us, thank you so much for being here. Today is Monday, June the 8th, 2020, just a few minutes past 9 a.m. And bringing you yoga with Jason G. This is a live streaming yoga class, live streaming yoga every day on Facebook Live, and all the videos are posted onto my YouTube channel at Yoga with Jason G. So hopefully you guys can join us today. This is going to be a really nice flow. This is a Vinyasa flow, all levels practice. So beginner, intermediate, advanced, all welcome today. And I hope that you guys can join us. So without further ado, we're going to begin in child's pose. And I will be practicing with you guys. So you can begin, and let's begin our practice, guys. Okay, so without further ado, let us begin, and we're going to start in our child's pose. So as you begin in child's pose, see that the forehead is touching the floor, and allow your breath to become long and slow here. And see that the knees are wide apart. See that the feet are together. Release the head down all the way onto the mat.
And just take a couple of breaths on your own here. This is called child's pose. We take this pose many times throughout our practice. And believe it or not, child's pose is a restorative, restful pose. So it's a pose that we can come back into our breath and allow ourselves to find our way back into the present moment. So naturally breathing in and out through the nostrils here. And eventually you'll take those hands forward of the chest. You'll extend the arms all the way forward of the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide apart.
Inhale, peel up the chest and the heart. And eventually press those hips back and find your way into downward facing dog pose. So spread the fingers wide apart. Press down through the thumb and the forefinger. Float the legs back and release the head down as you come into your first downward facing dog. So as we take downward facing dog pose, you can begin to walk the dog here, bending through the left knee, straightening through the right leg, bending through the right knee, straightening through the left leg. And eventually just finding your way back into our usual downward facing dog pose. I'm going to release the knees onto the mat and take a few rounds of cat and cow here. So as you inhale, peel the chest up, lengthen through the heart, chest, and the sternum. And as you exhale, rounding the spine here, releasing the head all the way towards the floor and just letting the middle back lift up towards the ceiling. Inhale, peeling the chest forward and up, wrapping those outer triceps in, firming the arms in as you lengthen the chest forward. As you exhale, rounding through the spine and releasing the head all the way down. Inhale, peeling the chest forward and up, breathing in here. And as you exhale, one more time, tucking the toes under, hips draw back, downward facing dog pose. So downward facing dog pose here, just continue to press through those fingers. See that the heels are lengthening to the back of the mat. Maybe the heels turn out slightly. The head continues to release down towards the mat here. Good. And eventually you're going to walk your feet all the way forward towards your hands and come into a forward fold, Uttanasana. As you fold forward, see that the feet are hips width distance apart. Wrap the elbows, so firm the triceps in. Release the head down towards the mat. So see that the weight is balanced in the feet. You can begin to drift the elbows over towards the left knee and back to center and all the way over towards the right knee. And back to center again. And release the head all the way down. Let the shoulders continue to elongate the torso down to the mat. And eventually you'll release the hands back down towards the floor. Take the hands to the hips, press down through the feet, inhale, peel up the chest. Find your way into Tadasana pose. So see that the thighs are pressing back. Stand tall here. See that the pelvis is directly over the crown of the head. Inhale, lengthen the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen the chest. And then find your way into plank pose, the top of a push-up. So as you come into plank pose, once again, spread those fingers wide apart. See that the forearms are drawing forward towards the fingers. Wrap the outer arms in. So the shoulders are spreading along the back body here. Continue to press back those heels and feel the thighs lifting up towards the ceiling here. Another really important action as we take plank pose is to engage the belly here. So feel the belly drawing in towards the back body. Release the knees down to the mat. Release the chest all the way down to the mat. Chest over the wrist. Inhale, peel up the chest, heart and sternum here. As you exhale, lower the head down. Tuck the toes underneath. Press down through the feet. Press down through the knees. Press down through the shins. Downward facing dog pose. So again, as we find our way into downward facing dog pose, turn the fingers out slightly here. Let the head release all the way down towards the floor while you continue to draw those thighs back to the back of the room. Lengthen the outer feet all the way back towards the back of the mat. And see that the head is releasing all the way down towards the floor again. Good. Walk the feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, lengthen the chest up halfway. As you exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. As you inhale, lifting through the chest, heart and sternum, Urdhva Hastasana pose. And as you exhale, taking those arms to the side. So you can bring your feet together or the feet can remain hips width distance apart. Again, inhale, float the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Maybe the palms touch. As you exhale, folding forward here. As you inhale, lifting through the chest. Take the palms down to the mat. Walk the feet back, plank pose again. So once again, plank pose, we spread the fingers wide apart. We feel the inner arms lifting up as the outer arms wrap down towards the pinky fingers. Lengthen through those heels. Feel the buttocks flesh drifting towards the thighs as you draw the sternum forward towards the crown of the head. Zip up from the belly all the way through to the crown of the head so you can feel that elongation happening through the entire chest and crown of the head. As you exhale, lower those knees down. Lower the chest all the way down. Inhale, peel up the chest, heart, and the sternum here. Walk the fingers back. Continue to hug those outer elbows in. Continue to feel the fingers pressing down as you hug the belly in. As you exhale, tuck the toes underneath. Press back through the feet. Float the heels back. Float the thighs back. Downward facing dog pose. And again, downward facing dog pose here. Just continuing to feel the elongation. So this is actually referred to as mountain pose as well. The heels are lengthening back here. The fingers are lengthening forward. And you can feel the shins pressing back as the forearms press forward. So the legs and the arms are moving in mirror images of one another. The outer arms roll back and the inner thighs roll back. So this continues to create that balancing act within the body. Walking the feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, lengthening here. As you exhale, hinge at the hips and fold all the way. Inhale, spin the arms up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana pose. As you exhale, take the hands back down and to the sides. And again, float the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, palms touch. As you exhale, hinging at the hips, folding all the way forward. Inhale, lengthening through the chest here. As you exhale, walking the feet back, finding your way into plank pose again. So spread those fingers wide apart. Continue to see that the forearms draw forward as the shin bones lift up. Buttocks lengthens back towards the heels. And once again, from the belly button all the way through the crown of the head, Feel the entire body zippering up all the way through to the front of the room. As you exhale, lower the knees down, lower the chest down here. Inhale, peel up the chest, heart, and the sternum. Walk the fingers back. This time as you tuck the toes underneath, if you'd like, press down all the way through the fingers to lift the arms up and float the knees up off the mat, upward facing dog pose. As you exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose, looking forward in between the hands, stepping the right foot in between the hands. Good. See that the left ball of the foot is pressing down. See that the right outer hip is hugging in here. Now, continue to pull the right shin towards the left thigh as you press the left heel back to the back of the room. Float the hands up. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Urdhva Hastasana arms in Anjali Asana pose. As you exhale here, see that the hands release down to the mat. Step the right leg back, shift forward into plank pose. So maintain that liftedness in the body, lower the knees down, lower the chest all the way down. Inhale, peel up the chest, heart, and the sternum. As you exhale here, find your way back into downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose again. We're going to look forward in between the hands. We'll step the left foot this time in between the hands. So the left shin is moving back as the left calf moves forward. See that right heel is pressing back and the right thigh is lifting up towards the ceiling. Float the hands up towards the sides of the body. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Crescent pose. Keep lengthening through the chest. As you exhale here, plant the hands down to the mat. Glide the left leg back. Shift forward plank. Lower down halfway. Inhale, peel up. And exhale, pressing on back. Downward facing dog pose here. Good. So from downward facing dog pose, you're going to look forward in between the hands and step the right foot forward once again. This time, right foot steps directly in the center of the mat. Spin the left heel down. So the left heel spins down to the mat. See that the front foot, heel, and the back arch align. Now draw the right buttocks in. Inhale, float the arms up and out to the sides, Warrior Two pose. As you take Warrior Two pose, continue to see that you're bending into that right knee. Right knee bends to 90 degrees. Maybe begin to lift those right toes off the mat so you can feel the right inner arch and the left out and the right outer arch of the foot lifting up here. Keep sinking a little bit more deeply into that foot. Good. And then from here, you're going to take your right forearm, place your right forearm on your right thigh crease. Inhale, take your left arm all the way up towards the ceiling here. This is called Parsvakonasana. So as we take Parsvakonasana, see that the left heel is pressing down. Feel the right outer buttocks drawing in. Maybe bend that right knee a little bit more deeply. Now take the right palm, spin the right palm to the front of the room, and glide the right arm over the head. See that the back heel is pressing down. See that the left ribs are floating back as you lengthen the right ribs forward. Press through the top arm and see that you continue to create all that lengthened space in the side of the body. Inhale, float that left arm up. Glide back, Warrior Two pose. From Warrior Two pose, we take our hands down to the mat. We step the right foot back to meet the left foot, and we come back into plank pose. This time, if you'd like, and we've warmed up a bunch already, you can take the shoulders over the wrist, bend the elbows halfway here. This is called Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, press up, straightening the arms, Urdhva Mukha Shavasana, upward facing dog, shoulders into the center chest. And as you exhale, find your way back, downward facing dog pose. So again, on the other side, we step the left foot forward in between the hands. We spin the right heel down. So heel to arch alignment in the feet. The left shin is drawing back. The right shin is drawing back. See that the calves are moving into the shins as you lift the chest up and take the arms out to the sides. Left buttocks hugs in. Both sides of the chest are lengthening out towards the fingers. Feel the tops of the shoulders releasing down to the fingertips here, and begin to hinge the left hip forward. Bend the left elbow. Glide the right arm up towards the ceiling here. As you continue to press the right heel down, press the right thigh back. Draw the left buttocks into the midline and continue to lift those left toes up, just like we did on the right side, to create a lift in the inner and outer left foot. Now take your right hand, spin the right palm to face the front of the room, and glide the right arm up and over the head. Continue to bend deeply into that left knee. Continue to draw the left side of the chest forward as you draw the right rib cage back. Good. Inhale, re-extend the right arm up. Glide that right arm up, warrior two pose. Windmill the hands down to the mat and step your left leg to meet the right leg. And again, we move through a vinyasa here. We shift forward into plank. You can always lower the knees down. Otherwise, you can lower down halfway. Inhale, peel up the chest for upward dog. Exhale, pressing back for downward facing dog. Downward facing dog pose and breathing here. So from downward facing dog pose, we're going to look forward in between the hands again, and we step the right foot in between the hands one more time. We spin the left heel down. Once again, as the shins draw back towards one another, the calves draw away, and we float the arms up. So this hugs the legs in. We're in warrior two pose. Warrior two pose this time, you begin to lengthen through both sides of the chest and straighten through the right leg. And once again here, we bend deeply into that right knee. Good. You're going to take your right hand this time and bring it inside of your right leg. Allow the right outer buttocks to hug in. Bend deeply into that right knee and float the left arm up towards the ceiling. See that the left heel presses back. See that the left thigh presses back. Now, glide the left hand down towards the floor. Spin the arm forward and lengthen the left fingers up and over the head. This is called extended side angle pose. Continue to lengthen the left side of the chest, or the right side of the chest forward as you draw the left rib cage back. Feel the belly hugging in. Feel the legs drawing in. So even in the right fingers are light here as you lengthen that left arm. Inhale, that left arm lifts up. Warrior two pose. From warrior two pose, windmill the right hand back. Glide both hands forward to the mat. Step your right leg forward to meet your left. And if you'd like, vinyasa, plank, chaturanga, upward dog, and downward facing dog here. Downward facing dog, we step the left foot in between the hands. We spin the right heel down. So heel to arch alignment. And once again, the left shin is moving towards the left calf. The right shin is moving back. And you're pressing both thighs down towards the mat as you float the arms up and out to the sides. See that you bend deeply into that left leg. See that you lift those left toes up off the mat. Hinge at that left hip crease. Release the left palm down as you glide the right arm up. Continue to lift through that right arm here. Now press to the right heel and lengthen the right arm up and over the head. Continue to draw the left buttocks back. Breathe here as you extend through the right palm as you look on up. And once again, glide that right arm up. Right arm lifts us up. Bend deeply into that left knee, arms out to the sides. Once again, windmill the hands down to the mat. Glide your left foot back, shift forward plank. Chaturanga, upward dog, and downward facing dog. So you can always skip vinyasas and stay in downward facing dog if you'd like. And continuing to breathe here. So one more time, we're going to step our right foot forward in between our hands. And we're going to spin our left heel down. As you feel ready here, warrior two pose. From warrior two pose this time, let's straighten that right leg and begin to hinge at that left hip, okay? Right hip. Begin to glide the right hand down towards the floor as the left arm lifts up. So the tailbone draws up towards the crown of the head, rather the lengthening from the pubic bone all the way through to the center chest. Feel the right side of the chest lengthening forward. Feel the left rib cage drawing back. See that both shoulders are spreading wide apart here. Now take your left hand and place the left hand on the left hip. Bend deeply into the right knee and step your right hand forward of the foot. Take a step forward through your left foot about halfway and step your right hand forward again. Keep your left hand on the left hip. Now shift the weight forward to the right fingertips and towards the right foot as you float the left leg up. Spin the left heel down and begin to inhale as you extend the left arm up towards the ceiling here. Keep that left arm lengthening up towards the ceiling. Feel the right shin drawing in as you lift through the right side of the chest. So the right side of the chest is lifting up as well as the left side of the chest. And eventually here we begin to add a bend, a nice light bend into that right knee. And we gently release that left leg on down behind us. Straighten through the right leg here. Right hand is either on the floor, a block, or the shin. Let the left arm lift us up. Once again, bend into that right knee. Windmill the hands down to the mat. Glide the right foot back to meet the left. You can stay in downward facing dog, or if you'd like, shifting forward through vinyasa. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, pressing back. And again, we step the left foot forward in between the hands. We'll spin the right heel down. So even before we lift up, feel the left shin drawing to the left calf. Feel the left buttocks hugging in. Heel to arch alignment. Press the right thigh back and float the arms up out to the sides. Warrior 2. From Warrior 2 pose, we straighten through the left leg. Draw the left hip back as the right hip draws forward. Glide the left hand down either to the left shin, a block, or outside the leg. Right arm extends up towards the ceiling. So as we press through the left ball of the foot, draw the left outer hip back. Feel the right hip drawing back as well. Take the right hand, place it on the right hip. Now look forward down towards the left foot. See that your left knee bends directly over the toes. And then bring your left hand outside of that foot, outside of the left foot. Step the right foot in. Bring your left hand even more outside the left foot and then glide the right leg up. Begin to straighten through your left leg. Float the right arm up towards the ceiling. Ardha Chandrasana pose. So here, see that the left calf is drawing towards the shin as the shin draws towards the calf. Firm the left buttocks in. Continue to lengthen from the right heel towards the right ball of the foot. Allow the pubis to lengthen all the way in towards the crown of the head. Lift through those right fingers. And then from here, bending gently into that left knee, softly releasing that left leg on down. Triangle pose here, pressing through the feet. Inhale, finding your way back into Warrior 2 pose. Windmilling the hands down to the floor, stepping your left leg back to meet the right, and if you'd like, moving through a vinyasa. Plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. So from downward facing dog, we're going to step our right foot forward again, and we're going to take our hands inside of our legs as we bring our hands all the way forward, right underneath the chest. So we're going to start here with lifting the chest up and then walking the hands back, walking the hands back, walking the hands back. Feet are parallel here. Release the head down towards the floor. So see that the weight is even in the heels of the foot and the balls of the feet. Still, once again, feel the shins drawing back towards the calves as you continue to feel the chest moving forward. Outer thighs draw towards the inner thighs. The pubis is still lengthening to the crown of the head. And then from here, you'll take your hands and you'll bring your hands behind your back as you interlace your fingers. Lift the arms up towards the ceiling. So as you lift the arms up towards the ceiling, wrap the outer triceps in. Feel the fingers lengthening up as the chest softens down to the floor. Trapezius muscles are moving towards the low back. Then from here, we take our hands, we glide our hands down the legs, and we bring our hands to the calves or shins. Release the head down again. Good. Now, take your hands to the big toe mounts. Grab hold of those big toes and lengthen the chest arm forward. Nice. Walk the hands into the center chest. Breathe here. Take the left hand underneath the left side of the chest. Float the right arm up towards the ceiling. Keep drawing that right hip back as you lift the right side of the chest up. As you exhale, lower that hand on down. This time, take the right hand to center. Float the right hand down as you float the left arm up. Inhale, lowering that hand down. Release the head down one more time. Maybe getting the head a little bit closer towards the floor here. So breathe into the backs of the legs. Continue to lengthen the chest, heart, and sternum here as you continue to breathe. And eventually you'll take your hands. You'll begin to place your hands on the hips. Inhale, lift the chest, and come on up. Heel toe the feet back together. Heel toe the feet back together. And eventually find your way into standing here. Okay. Surya B, flow. So as you feel ready, inhale. Float the arms up towards the ceiling. Bend the knees here, Utkatasana chair pose. As you exhale, hinge at the hips and fold all the way forward. Inhale, lengthening through the chest. As you exhale, walk the feet back, finding your way either from downward facing dog, you could stay there, or move through a vinyasa. Inhale, peeling up the chest. Exhale, pressing back through those hips. So we're going to step the right foot forward in between the hands, right next to the right hand, and spin the left heel down. Draw the right shin to the right calf. Draw the left shin back. Inhale. Float the arms up towards the ceiling. Virabhadrasana 1 pose. Warrior 1. As you exhale here, glide the hands back down to the floor. Step the right leg back and move through a vinyasa again. So once again, you can move through as many vinyasas as you want, or if you feel like vinyasas are enough, you could just stay directly in downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward in between the hands. Spin the right heel down. Again, feel the shins drawing in towards one another. Hug the left outer buttocks in and begin to float the arms up with a bent left knee. Warrior 1. As you exhale here, glide the hands down, stepping the left leg back, shifting forward plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. So see that those feet are at least turned out slightly. Release the head on down. And again here, looking forward in between the hands, walking the feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, folding. Bending the knees, bending the knees, bending the knees. Utkatasana chair pose. Straighten through the legs. Release the hands down to the sides. Again, so we're going to move through a couple more flows. Inhale, float the arms up. Utkatasana. Exhale, hinging at the hips and folding all the way forward. Inhale, lengthening through the chest. As you exhale, walking the feet back, finding your way into plank. So plank pose, moving through a vinyasa. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, pressing back. Stepping the right foot in between the hands, spinning the left heel down, drawing the shins towards one another as you inhale, float the arms up. As you exhale, hands come down. Step the right foot back, shift forward, plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Again, we step the left foot in between the hands. Draw the shins in towards each other. Float the arms on up. As we exhale here, we glide the hands on down. We step the left leg on back and move through a vinyasa again. So these vinyasas are really flows to create heat in the body, but also to create some sense of movement and stability as well. So between the flows, we hold downward facing dog, and this is really to find ourselves back into our breath, back into our alignment. So looking forward in between the hands again, walking the feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, lengthening here. Exhale, folding. Again, bend those knees, Utkatasana chair pose, floating the arms up, and taking the arms back down into the sides. One more time. Inhale, floating the arms up for Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold here. Inhale, lengthening. As you exhale, stepping the feet back, finding your way into plank. Plank pose to chaturanga, chaturanga to upward dog to downward facing dog. One more time. Stepping your right foot forward, spinning your left heel down. Inhale, warrior one pose. So we hold this just for a few moments this time. Feel the shins drawing towards one another. Feel the outer hips hugging in. See that the back ribs are lengthening here as you soften through the front ribs. Continue to breathe here in this pose. As you exhale, glide those hands on down. Right foot steps back. Shift forward plank, chaturanga, upward dog, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward in between the hands. Spin the right heel down. Inhale, float the arms on up, warrior one pose. Again, shins draw towards one another. Feel the buttocks hugging in. Feel the arms lengthening up through the fingers. Glide the hands down to the mat, stepping your left leg back. Plank, chaturanga, upward dog, downward facing dog. Downward facing dog pose. So continuing to breathe here in our downward facing dog pose as we release the head on down. Good. And eventually you'll walk the feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, lengthening here. Exhale, folding. One more time. Inhale, Utkatasana chair pose. And straightening through those legs. Okay. As you come back to standing now, we're going to come back to the center of our mat. And we're going to move through a Padangusthasana series. So as you take the hands to the hips here, you're going to lean the weight forward. Take your fingers and clasp your fingers around your big toe mound with your middle finger and your pointer finger. So you could stay here. Some of us are just going to stay here. Some of us will just place that foot on the thigh and come into tree pose just like this. So you could just hold tree pose while we're moving through Padangusthasana series. From here, you take the right leg, you grab hold of the right big toe mound, and you begin to kick out the right foot. So lengthen it out as you draw the right shoulder back. Good. Keep lifting the chest, keep lifting the heart here. This is Supta Padangusthasana A, Uttita Padangusthasana A. Then you're going to draw the knee back in and draw it out to the side. Padangusthasana B is you extend the leg out to the side. Keep lifting that leg out to the side as you lift the chest up. This is Padangusthasana B. Keep lifting up the navel. Keep lifting up the sternum. Feel the breath here. As you exhale, draw that leg back in the center. Padangusthasana C is taking your left hand, grabbing hold of the outer side of your right foot, and extending that leg on forward. Extending your right arm on back. Maybe twisting here the chest. Good. And then come back to center. If you want, you can take tree pose again. Vrikshasana, for those of us who are still in tree, holding here. Hands come to the center chest, breathing. So this builds our balance and our alignment. And then as you feel ready, releasing that right leg down. Okay, other side, let's go. So let's start. You can come into tree pose just like we did on the other side. You can start here if you want. You can stay here the entire time because we're going to be balancing on this right leg. If you want more, you'll come forward. You'll grab hold of the big toe mound, and then you'll begin to lengthen that left leg on forward. That's it. Padangusthasana A. Keep leaning back. Keep lifting the chest. Now bend that knee in, bend that knee in, bend that knee in. Take the knee out to the side. Padangusthasana B. Lengthen the leg. Reach the chest up and breathe here. Good. Draw that knee back into center. Hug that knee in. Take your right fingers this time around the outer side of your left foot. Extend the leg forward and look over the shoulder. Padagustasana C. And breathe here. And now draw that knee back in. Take the foot, maybe come back into tree pose here. And breathe. So we take tree pose. Tree pose is a hold. We lift the chest, we lift the heart towards the hands as we continue to let the buttocks flesh move down towards the heels. And then from here, releasing that leg on down. So we're going to float the arms up again. Utkatasana chair pose. Bend those knees. Take the hands to the center chest here and just begin to cross the right elbow over the right thigh crease, just like this. So spread the arms wide apart. Keep sitting into the chair. Keep sinking those hips back here. If you want, you can float the arms away from one another in either side. Good. Some of us will begin to take the knees to a bent position, release the hands down onto the floor, and take side crow by lifting those legs up and just hovering here, squeezing the navel in and breathing. Lowering those feet on down. Once again, Utkatasana. Hands come to the center chest, other side. So firm the buttocks in. Lengthen through the chest, lengthen through the heart, lengthen through the sternum. Again, you'll release the hands down to the floor. Bend those knees. One more time, just shift forward, shift forward, shift forward. Be here. Hovering. And then releasing on down. Nice job, guys. Inhale, coming back into Utkatasana chair pose. And then pressing your way on up. Good. We're going to come through a Surya A one more time. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, hinging at the hips and folding. Inhale, lengthening the chest and the heart here. As you exhale, walking the feet back, you can come into downward facing dog, or you can move through a vinyasa. Inhale, peeling up. Exhale, pressing back. Once again, we're going to step the right foot in between the hands, and you're going to keep the left foot where it is. Firm the outer thighs in. Feel the right shin growing towards the right calf. Feel the left heel pressing back. Inhale, float the arms on up. Crescent pose. So from here, you have the option of lowering the left knee down to the mat. You could take the hands to the center chest here and glide the left forearm or the left tricep over the right thigh crease for twisting crescent pose. If you take this pose, you can actually release your left hand down to the floor and the right arm up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing that right heel back and breathe. Maybe taking the hands back to the center chest. Inhale, floating those arms up. As you exhale, gliding your right leg back. So once again here, if you want, you can move through a vinyasa. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, pressing back. And we move into the other side. Left foot steps forward, press the right heel back. Inhale, float the arms up. We come into crescent pose. So you can always lower the right knee down to the mat. As you feel ready, hands come into the center chest. Glide the right upper arm around the left thigh crease, and then begin to lift the chest here. Good. Now, maybe release the hands in opposite directions as you lift through the left side of the chest and breathe here. Keep pressing that right heel back. Keep floating the chest forward. Hands come back to center. Inhale, float those arms on up. Exhale, hands come back down to the mat. Step the left leg back. Shift forward into plank. So from plank pose, we're going to lower down onto our forearms here. You're going to interlace the fingers and come into forearm plank pose. As you come into forearm plank pose, press the forearms down, press the wrists down, press the fingers down. See that the belly's hugging in here. See that the chest sternum is lengthening forward. So zip up from the pubis all the way through to the crown of the head. Then feel both toes turning over towards the right side of the room. From here, you can stack the feet if you'd like, but keep pressing down through the forearms here as you breathe. And then come back to center. And now bring both toes over to the left side. So stack the feet here if you'd like, and see that the shoulders are even. So see that the weight in the shoulders are even, See that the eyes are soft, and breathe here. And once again, bring those feet on down. Walk the feet in, walk the feet in, walk the feet in. Dolphin pose. Release the head on down. Feel the trapezius muscles moving towards the ears. Feel the shoulder blades moving into the center chest. Soften the frontal chest here as you draw the belly in towards the spine. Good. And as you exhale, walk those feet on back, walk those feet on back, walk those feet on back. Plank pose. Lower the knees down. And then from here, you'll begin to sweep those legs in front of you. All right. So from here, we're going to come into lying on our back. Hug those knees into the chest and breathe. So let's start by taking our legs up towards the ceiling here, seeing that the outer thighs wrap on in, seeing that the backs of the legs are long. Take the hands up towards the ceiling. So see if you can lift those shoulder blades off the mat. Keep the palms together, palms touch. Lower the right leg to about 1 inch off the floor. Be here and breathe. Keep lifting those shoulders up. Keep lifting the chest up. Draw that right leg up and then draw the left leg to about 1 inch off the floor. So you're firming the outer thigh in, you're lifting through the arms, and you're allowing the chest to lift up off the floor. And then draw that left leg up. Again, right leg draws down. This time, take both hands and bring them forward towards that right leg, like you're karate chopping towards that leg. Keep lifting the chest, keep lifting the heart here. Breathe. Draw the right leg up, bring the hands back to center, and then draw the left leg down. Once again, bring your hands forward. You're reaching your hands forward towards that extended foot. And breathe here. And then drawing that leg up. Good. From here, bend the knees. Take the feet wide apart. Lift the arms and continue to lift the chest up. So the feet are apart, the knees are together, and you're breathing here. Look down towards the belly button. Keep lifting the chest up. And then hug the knees into the chest. Excellent. Jartha Parivartanasana. Take the arms out to the sides in a cactus shape and draw both knees over to the right side. If you can, let the legs float here. So the knees are and to the other side. So again, the knees are just floating here. Okay, back to center again. So one more time, hug those knees into the chest. You're going to release your feet on down and come into bridge pose. So take your hands to either side of the mat, roll the shoulders under, press down through the feet, feel the shins drawing towards the calves, feeling the thighs drawing towards the heels, and lengthening the buttocks towards the backs of the knees. So you draw up here and you're in bridge pose. Just holding onto the sides of the mat. So as you breathe in bridge pose, continue to press down through the forearms, wrists, and the fingers. You continue to lift through the center chest here as you draw the thigh bones down towards the mat. So thigh bones are drawing down, but the chest is lifting up. And as you exhale, lower that pelvis on down. Release the hands for a moment and breathe here. You can roll the head from right to left a couple of times. We're going to do that one more time. If you want this time, you can interlace the fingers underneath the back. Rolling the left and right shoulders under, seeing that the forearms release down as you draw the shoulder blades in towards the chest. Buttocks lengthens towards the heels. See that the backs of the legs grow long here. See that the chest continues to open as you breathe. And eventually exhale, spreading the fingers wide apart, releasing the entire back body down onto the mat. Good. So from here, one more time, you're going to take the knees into the chest. You're going to take that simple twist. This time, just release the knees down to the floor. So now our knees are not lifted. Our knees are just releasing down to the floor. And close the eyes here. So breathe into the outer left hip. Good. So one more time, Jartha Parivartanasana on the other side. All right, let's bring it back to center again. Hug your knees into your chest here. Breathe. If you'd like, you can take a happy baby pose here. Grab onto the big toe mounds of the feet. Float the legs up, float the feet up towards the ceiling, and allow the knees to drift down towards the side ribs here. Release the shoulders down to the mat. Lengthen the back body here. As you exhale, release the feet on down. Feet touch the ground, knees are bent. Lengthen the buttocks, push forward, and then lengthen your left leg and then your right leg all the way to the front of the mat. Now take your arms, lengthen your arms out to your sides, and breathe here. If you have any props that are within reaching distance, you can move them out to the sides for now. And just release and relax. just begin to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Take the arms up and over the head. Point the toes forward, bend the knees here. Roll the knees over to one side and gently press your way on up. Find your way into a seated position, crossing the legs. Take the hands to the center chest. Release the chin towards the chest. Namaste. Lift the head, open the eyes. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you guys enjoyed this practice. This was our standard flow, Vinyasa Flow All Levels practice. My name is Jason Gorenstein. Please feel free to keep tuning in. Tons of live streaming classes every single day. So you guys can enjoy these live streaming classes. So guys, thank you so much. My name is Jason Gorenstein. Monica, I don't know if you're still with us, but I hope that you have a wonderful day today. Hopefully that you enjoyed today's practice. If you enjoyed the practice, please give a thumbs up sign or a heart sign. Also, please feel free to comment or share the videos. I have a little Venmo QR code, so if you feel like contributing in any way, always grateful for your contributions. I hope that you guys have a phenomenal day today. Be well, be happy, my friends. Namaste. I'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.